The Defenders, Episode 7, Fish in the Jailhouse. This is the penultimate episode of the season, or maybe of the series. I guess I don't think they're doing an official Defenders Season 2. We'll see what they do later. But this is the penultimate episode of what we will consider either the series or the season. And it started off pretty good because it has everyone still knocked out from dealing with Elektra. Of course, Stick is dead. I didn't even think of this until they actually brought it up after everyone got arrested. But the body of Swande was never officially disposed of. Like, Stick sent his head, but he never cleared out the body. So it was like, yeah, you guys are all arrested, and there's like a random dead body here, and then there's another dead body. It was like, oh yeah, I guess he never had time to get rid of the body officially because he was trying to basically kill off Danny. So, great little moment where everybody ends up getting arrested. They have where, Jessica wakes up and she's, in front of Misty, and Misty's like, we gotta stop meeting like this. With Matt, it was actually kind of funny with Matt because when he wakes up, it's from the phone ringing, and he flips out and he's like almost knocking stuff over. So he wakes up and is like, yeah, they had to take your shirt because, blood samples. Fortunately, he wasn't wearing the suits. So it's just like nobody really understands, like, what is the deal with the blind lawyer? So I love that idea, but, he's talking with Foggy. Everybody's trying to figure out, like, all right, where do we go next? We find out that Luke is actually, still knocked unconscious from this drug, and, he ultimately ends up waking up. It was totally fine. Like, they were worried, like, we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on with Danny. Like, pretty much everyone's just like, is Danny alive? Is Danny dead? Did they take Danny? So everyone's trying to figure out what to do. And then, of course, you have, like, the chief of police dealing with, not only Misty kind of being, like, technically she's, like, the lead on this case, but he's still dealing with, like, technically 3 superheroes, but it's like 2 superhumans and then their lawyer. So they don't understand anything that's really happening. It's like, we need all the information you have. You need to give it to us because you guys are like suspects in a murder case, 2 murder cases potentially. And so Misty kind of has to help them out and grease the wheel a little bit. They get some time to talk, and before they officially have their conversation, Matt has a little moment with Karen where it's like, he's just like, things are just really crazy. That's pretty much all that happens is like, things are nuts, can't really say much, and it kind of goes on to that. So they have a talk for a little bit, then Foggy shows up, and it's like, they talk for a minute, and it was pretty cool. Foggy ends up bringing Matt the suit. He brings him the Daredevil outfit, and so he's like, that's what family's for, and he takes off. And then when he goes back in the room, Luke and Jessica are like, yeah, we decided we're gonna get Danny. Like, we need to get Danny to save all of New York. So that's what we gotta do. Like, there's no time for explain this stuff to everybody. They won't understand, even if they did believe us, which they just wouldn't. Like, there's just no time for any of this crap. So Matt's like, all right, glad we're on the same page. He puts his suit on, they bust out, and then that's it. They take off, they go for the building, and then we have everybody freaking out. Like, they took off, they kidnapped Matt, which is, I just thought that was the funniest thing, because of course it's like Matt's just the human lawyer. So they kidnap Matt. The 2 superhumans break out of, they break out of the police station and kidnap their own lawyer. So they're on the run. Everybody's looking for them. Colleen decides she's not going to be on the sidelines anymore, and she ends up going into the evidence room, gets the map from the architect, and picks up the C4 that he was collecting because her plan is to go to the building and, basically carry out the architect's plan and bring it down on top of the hand and destroy everything that they were going for. So we have her doing that, but of course, before all that stuff takes place, before all the side characters actually make it there, before Claire, Colleen, before Misty, we have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage going up against the 3 fingers left of the hand. We have Madame Gao, Bakudo, and Murakami. And I was so excited for that sequence, and it was a really good fight sequence. I thought they did a great job with that. Then the funniest thing to me is, like, they show, like, we have Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Like, one dude is impenetrable skin, so that gives him super strength. The other person, she just naturally has super strength. They both have, like, increased healing and stuff like that. But, man, apparently super strength and impenetrable skin is like a dog crapping compared to Daredevil doing his flips and kicks, because he's taking on 2 people, and they're dealing with Madame Gao and the Force, her just doing her palm technique, but he is fighting like back and forth, like it's physical stuff versus her stuff where she's just pushing people away. But man, it was just so cool. It's like he's doing flips. There's a part where he like spins on his hand and he like rolls. He like rolls on like a stack of cinder blocks. And I was like, that was insane. That's weird that somebody had that idea for choreography. But that looked amazing when he did it. It was just like a crazy little moment, and he spun his body on the cinder blocks as he used like one hand to kind of get around them. So I was like, that was insane. But he's blocking, spinning, flipping, kicking. Then it cuts to Jessica and Luke, and they're just dealing with Madame Gao. They have a moment that was really great where Madame Gao basically, like, she pinned Luke against the wall because I think she pushed her car on him. So she's dealing with Jessica, and she got her to the ground, and she tried to, like, palm her face into the ground. It would have, like, destroyed her, but she dodged at, like, the last second, and then it was a great move, but she basically, like, knocks her arm from up under her, and then pulls her closer so that she could, like, shove her off. I was like, that was really cool. They're doing some great teamwork. Luke breaks off a pipe and then tosses it to Jessica, and I think that was before she got knocked to the ground and stuff, but it was really cool. I was like, I love their teamwork. And then, like I said, Matt was just like doing his own thing. He's just fighting off two dudes, and they just couldn't do it. They could not take this dude down. It's like, man, they make him seem like the ultimate character. But it's funny because him, like, it's one of those things where I think if you don't really know the characters, you'd underestimate them. And I wasn't sure, like they always show Matt doing his thing, and he can take a hit here and there, but it was just really funny because he was taking on both of them. So it was like, oh, I didn't expect that because of who those, their characters are. It's like you have Murakami and Bakudo. I just assumed all of them have like some, at least clearly enhanced strength, but it just wasn't enough for Daredevil. And it's the same, which you probably wouldn't see very often unless you read comics. But it's like that. Like Daredevil and Spider-Man, they have that same thing where it's like, oh, they don't have super strength. Well, Spider-Man does. But it's like, oh, they're just like, the fighters is not that big of a deal. No one ever shows Spider-Man at full strength because he pulls his punches. But Spider-Man can fight like a billion people at once because of his spider sense. And it's almost the same with Daredevil, where it's like, okay, you're at this angle, so you'll have to do this. And that's why he's able to dodge everything. And it's just like, okay, boom, got you here. I know how to counter this. I know how to do that. It's like, that's his spidey sense. It's perpetual because of the reverb that he feels with everything, and he knows exactly where every single placement is and will be. So it's just like Spider-Man's spidey sense was like, if the two of them team up, you better be like faster than light because they will take you down so fast. Like, it's really funny, but this is one of those moments where you really get to see that for Matt's character. Was like, he can take people on even if they have an insane strength. If it's with Elektra, like, we get to see that a little bit, but with her having like super strength, super strength, it's a bit difficult. Like, she can take him down if he's kind of off kilter a little bit, but it was awesome. I was like, man, he's doing flips and kicks, and he's dodging and fighting back, and then it kind of transfers the characters, and Murakami ends up going against Luke and stuff like that, and he's got like that freaking the little baton he's going at him with, but it was cool. It was a great fight sequence. Colleen ultimately ends up coming in to kind of help them out, and then she takes on Bakudo alongside Matt, so that was actually pretty cool for her. And then while they're doing that whole fight, there's also the fight between Danny and Elektra, which was mostly Danny just getting his butt whooped, which is like most of the series, to be totally honest. Outside of like that first fight he was in, I guess the first two, when he was in that first fight, the first big fight where they were all together in the third episode, he did good there until they like basically dogpiled on him. And then after that, when they were fighting at the restaurant, he held his own there as well. But other than that, I think he's only been beat up pretty much. He got like, I guess that episode where I guess the fourth or fifth episode where they were getting like all the side characters like, hey, we got to protect you. He fought like 3 dudes in an alley. He beat them up like it was nothing. But most of the fights is like him struggling to kind of go up against anybody, and he's facing off against Elektra, and he, once again, I always say it, but he tried so hard. The kid tried, but it just wasn't working. She's doing flips on him, and punches, kicks. She was just whooping him up, and he's like, I know what you want, and he says he won't do it, but he's so emotional, and this is that rare moment where apparently his anger, this is what I've always been saying, his anger is what channeled his chi into the power of the Iron Fist. Unfortunately, he's Danny the Dumb, and so he's fighting, and he's missing because, he can't actually, like, it doesn't matter. The Iron Fist means literally nothing if you miss the hit. Like, it's a cool power, but ultimately you gotta be able to actually touch. So he's missing and stuff, and ultimately Elektra is freaking smart because he's in his rage mode. So he's punching stuff, and I'm like, there it is, he's screwing up. she's like, alright, well, all I wanted was for you to punch this one thing. That's what everyone's looking for. I'm in control, of the hand now. I want the substance. I want immortality. So she takes over. She's doing exactly what Alexandra wanted, which is kind of funny, but she, takes her place. So it's like, this is all we need. Punch this wall. Bada bing, bada boom. So he's not paying attention. She's dodging left and right. Catches his hand with her side. And then, I don't know how there was enough power to do this because she stopped him. It, like, logically, physically speaking, like, physics-wise, it makes no sense. But because he punched and she stopped him. Like, she had the side, caught his hand, and then she did like that, and it like blew the wall open. I was like, that doesn't make any sense because he came to a full stop when she did that, and then she just kind of turned and, but like, they were like, what, a foot away? He didn't have that much force to where it was like he did a full punch and blew the wall open, but hits the wall, blows open, and they end on a really cool note because I was not expecting this, but he ends up opening this gate, or like opening up this locked door, and it turns out the substance is like the remains of a dragon. And I was like, that was actually a super cool reveal because that is not at all what I was expecting. But that was a great way to end the episode, so I thought that was super cool. Of course, before some of that stuff happens, they have the rest of the heroes talking about, the whole bomb idea. So Claire ends up going, Misty ends up going, and she's stalking the cops. So Claire and Colleen are the ones who decide to set up the bombs. Everyone else goes on to basically continue their fight, try to get to Danny. So they're setting up the bombs and everything. That's basically like the whole plan is like, alright, we agree that we're going to set up these bombs and everyone talking about it and everything, and that's that leads into the final episode. But definitely an awesome reveal at the end of the episode. Love the fight sequence with, we had 3 fingers of the hand versus 3 of the defenders, and then Danny getting himself beat up. He really does. He just gets beat up all the time. It's so funny. But really good episode. I have seen the finale, but of course I would love to know your theories on the finale. But I also want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite part about it, at least favorite parts about it. Naturally, want to know your theories and what you guys want to see, just period, for the finale of the Defenders. Like I said, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general as well. So please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.